we should take ownership of our environment. We should pamper it, nurture it, and treat it well. Not defecating in the open, not weighing in the open, not dumping the waste wherever it suits us. But to see Lagos as ours and to collectively fix it.
The Ministry of Environment, them they work day and night.
As Lagos continues its daily push toward a cleaner and more orderly city, officials of the Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Corps, popularly known as Kick Against Indiscipline, have intensified enforcement operations across the state to curb all forms of environmental nuisance. The special squad has sustained raid in several locations, removing illegal roadside markets, clearing makeshift structures on medians, and arrested individuals caught violating environmental laws. This week, we turn our attention to how Lagos is enforcing order in a city of over 20 million people. This is the Lagos Environment. I am Ebiarido Buba, and I'll be your host.
Ayo, come and see, Papa, Mama, see the road is good, see as water clean, no yama yama, drainage walk, gutter flow, brother, sister, no more beggy, see the land is green, no, clean environment, now the Lagos where we dream, oh, now him with the sea, oh, now him with the sea, you.
Officials of the Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Corps recently carried out cleanup operations in Oroyiyi Estate and another community on Lagos Island. The exercise was led by the Corps Marshal, Olaniyi Tubosu Cole, who once again warned residents against defacing the environment through various forms of illegal activities. Here's the report.
Residents of Oroyiyi in the Dumagbo area of Lagos Island woke up to the blaring sirens of vehicles belonging to the Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Corps, popularly known as KAI. Their mission: to rid the residential estate of illegal commercial structures and restore cleanliness and safety within the environment. Without wasting time, officers moved in, pulling down iron containers, wooden stores, and other makeshift structures erected within the compound. One of the containers, filled with wares, household items, and other goods, was opened as officials directed the owners to remove their belongings before demolition commenced. The gloomy faces worn by many residents showed that this was far from a welcomed exercise. Many claimed the structures had existed for years and served as their only means of livelihood. But this is no excuse for illegal activities.
This place is very, very different. Extraordinarily different. I can know what see by. I'll beg a luba, she will go at no. So, Bobo, in Ulays, to Babaje, to Baje, Owoti, I was taught is Sotakosita, the Latin Rio, Tamafin, King Bobo Lesi.
We cannot fight government since they say that we are violating the law by putting more extent in the state. So we have nothing to say, rather to allow them to do their work.
In no time, clusters of makeshift shops and warehouses gave way to open spaces, creating room for fresh air and a more conducive environment. At another compound nearby, KAI officials had earlier demolished a 6-room commercial toilet, a bathroom, and several illegal structures.
The state does not even allow it. This is residential. How can you put a commercial toilet here? Where are you going to put the septic tank? This is somebody's window. And these are shops here. There is no how you build a commercial toilet here that will not affect the health of the residents of the area.
But despite the enforcement, some occupants had already begun reconstructing parts of the demolished buildings, a move officials vowed to stop once again. Within the same compound, signs of danger were evident. The building appeared dilapidated and was visibly sinking, while stagnant water and heaps of refuse littered the environment, a disaster waiting to happen. Most times, the narrative appeared one-sided, as many occupants focused mainly on the commercial benefits derived from the illegal structures.
Ní orí ohun tíjọba sọ, èmi ò ní purọ́, tòótọ́ ni. Ó ti ń jí mi. Kọ́jọ́ kan ṣàánú wa, kó bá wa tún ṣe. And gọ́tà gan alára, gọ́tà ò lọ. Gbogbo ìdọ̀tí ó kúnnú gọ́tà, omi ò rí bí gbà lọ. So bí bó ṣe wà ń sìn, wọ́n owó náà fi ń kó omi yẹn jáde. Bó bá ṣe ń kó bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lomi yẹn tún ṣe ń sun padà. Kọ́jọ́ kó bá wa ṣe, kó bá wa tún ṣe o. Àmọ́ tòótọ́ pé ohun tó ń sọ fún àǹfààní gbogbo wa náà ni o.
They are the sleep. So this water, if rain fall, they can enter inside. But if rain go, it could go down. They are the every day. Even say I come out water safe, you see come back for down. And even nobody dey here. Kwata I mean to nobody here. But every people dey state, I be a secret man.
But for the government, it is a different narrative. One centered on ensuring cleanliness, restoring order, improving safety, and averting future catastrophes.
The estate is residential, so there should be no need for them. We have over more than 500 stores here, and even the occupants are really complaining because at night a whole lot of people sleep here, even their property have been stolen. And moreover, you can see the environment, it's not healthy at all. And the state does not want any outbreak of any disease whatsoever. That's why we are removing the chances. At least if you remove the chances, you now know what is on the ground. Then from there, the state will now know what to do. I must confess, this place is no longer healthy.
Still, some residents insist that the provision of basic amenities and better support systems would encourage citizens to comply more willingly with environmental laws.
Most of the times, like they say, caution are people's ways of life. The way I behave may be quite different from the way other person behave. And most of the times, when things are not properly fixed, when some provisions are not met, some individuals might find it so difficult to obey the law. The government should look into that area and see if there is something that they will do to assist those individuals to obey those laws.
After hours of demolition and enforcement, Kai officials got into the vehicles and headed for another operation. A quick stop was made at Ishola and Queen Street in Yaba, where street traders were immediately dislodged. Tension briefly rose as some street boys resisted the operation and attempted to foment trouble, while several traders passionately pleaded for mercy. The court-martial pointed to visible damage on nearby walls allegedly caused by constant cooking flames from roadside trading activities. However, after listening to the traders' pleas, officials granted them a 7-day ultimatum to vacate the area. Moments after, the convoy moved on. For the Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Corps, the exercise may have ended for the day. But the battle to enforce environmental laws, reclaim public spaces, and build a cleaner, safer Lagos continues. In a city grappling with rapid urbanization and growing environmental concerns, enforcement operations like this are not just about demolition. They're about protecting lives, preserving public health, and preventing avoidable disasters before they happen.
Every day across Lagos, a quiet battle unfolds between compliance and convenience, between law and resistance. At the center of it all are the men and women tasked with keeping the city clean and orderly, the kick against indisciplined officials. But beyond the uniforms and enforcement lies a deeper question. Why does a cleaner Lagos sometimes feel like a struggle for residents? Here's the story.
The ancient text says, "Where there is no law, there is no sin." But what happens when the law is written, spoken, and even signed, yet the sin remains? In the heart of Africa's largest megacity, the law is no longer silent. It wears a green uniform, carries a badge of authority, and answers to a simple three-word command: kick against indiscipline. The battle for sanity begins here at the Bolade Oshodi Command Headquarters. Before a single enforcement exercise kicks off, this arm of the Ministry of the Environment must be ready. Early in the morning, the theory of the law meets the reality on the streets, and the arrival at different locations sends a clear message. Illegal activities have no place in Lagos. Not everyone welcomes this green-clad authority. There have been arguments that these enforcement operations are harsh or too rigid for a city under huge economic pressure. Critics question the necessity of such measures, describing them as coercive rather than collaborative. State officials, however, insist that relaxing enforcement could worsen environmental disorder across the city.
Be out there to regulate and let people do what is proper within the ambit of the law. We can't have chanties springing up at every nook and cranny of the state. So, Lagos is just carrying out that mandate that has been given to them by the law, the enabling law. And they are doing that across the states, from Iba down to Orile, down to Badagry, down to Ekwe, down to Ikorodu, Agege, and everywhere. People choose to take the laws into their hands. We also need to let them know that if we actually love these states, we also need to keep these states sane. Right? It becomes an Obesian state, where life becomes nasty, brutish, and short.
The Corps Marshal, Major Olaniyi Olatubosun Cole, has led several cleanup operations across the state. From dislodging shanties to enforcing sanity on the roads, the law is no longer just a text in a book. It is now a daily effort to reclaim the soul of a city.
The core mandate of CAI is to keep Lagos clean, sparkling. And in order to achieve this, my agency is in charge of street trading, hawking, people saying on setback, on walkway, mechanic, all these mechanic, springing up here and there. It's the duty of my agency to see to their activities. It's basically generally how Lagos would be a cleaner place.
Although enforcement operations are a major part of CAI's responsibilities, the Corps Marshal insists that enforcement is usually the last option after repeated sensitization and non-compliance by offenders. According to him, the agency prioritizes public enlightenment before taking enforcement actions.
Enforcement is not enough. You see, some of the time we go on educating them, organizing stakeholders, at least to carry a larger community along. It is only when it now comes to, you have been warned not to do this, you've been told to leave this place, you don't leave. That is when you carry enforcement. Enforcement is the last one we do.
The court martial also cited some of the reasons residents resist enforcement operations and sometimes clash with KAI officers.
An average Lagosian or Nigerian will not want to do things by mere, leave this place, leave this place. Changing from the doing the wrong thing to the right thing is not an easy thing, because the brain is already cloned to that bad thing that you are doing. And when somebody wants to try to tell that this thing you are doing is wrong, you want to put on resistance.
From resistance during enforcement exercises to hostility from some residents, the task of maintaining environmental sanity in a densely populated city like Lagos is far from easy. The consequences of these confrontations have sometimes turned violent. In April 2026, 3 defendants were jailed for attacking KAI officers in the Ikpodo area of Ikeja during a routine clearance operation. In December 2025, 4 officials were injured as armed thugs attacked them at a restaurant in Victoria Island.
A KAI personnel, you only know when you leave the house, you don't know when to come back. And in carrying out your duty, it's just like someone going for an attack in the military. You don't know what you are going to meet. Like when we are going out now, we prepare. They must throw us bottles. They must shell us with stone. And thank God for the governor of Sanwo-Olu. Once you attack any personnel, whether KAIO, whether last mile, whether Loma, whether task force, you are going to face music. But you will dance well.
Despite the challenges, the Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Corps says its goal remains ensuring a cleaner, safer, and more orderly Lagos. The mission to kick against the status quo is not a new invention. It is the continuation of a legacy that began more than 2 decades ago. Officially established in November 2003 by the administration of then-Governor Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the agency was treated to tackle environmental offences, street trading, and related infractions as the enforcement arm of the Ministry of the Environment. Across Lagos, its officers continue to operate on the front lines of one of the city's most complex challenges, enforcing environmental laws in a fast-growing megacity. While their operations often spark debate, officials say the objective remains the same: to restore order, improve sanitation, and protect public spaces for the wider good of the city.
Yet compliance remains a challenge the state continues to grapple with. As always, we took to the streets to find out why. And here's what residents had to say.
Like most of us here, we take things for granted and we don't, abide by the laid down rules. So I think enforcing it will probably help it to get better probably. The way we do about things, we get to bypass like, the law and order here in Lagos State. So I think like they will abide by it, maybe by enforcing. Yeah, that's so to say.
Ọwọ́ tó tutù ká wa, ọwọ́ tó rọ̀ kó káràlú. Bíríìjì àǹfààní wa dẹ̀ ni, àǹfààní aráàlú ni. Because mọ́tò mi kó tó gbẹ tó ń wa mọ́tò lórí ìran. Ẹlòmíì ti máa sọdá kò ní mọ̀ pé èèyàn ló wà wájú. Bọ̀ọ̀kan gorí bíríìjì ẹ ló bẹ́tà. Tákìtì ìjọba bá lẹ̀ ṣe tí wọ́n fi máa kápá aráàlú kò tí ì pọ̀ jù.
Kan tó lè fàdá láàrin àwọn káyà àti aráàlú ojú pé ẹ má pàtẹ. Wọ́n tún fún wa l'opportunity kó kè tábà fẹ́ pàtẹ bóyá aago 5 ká máa pàtẹ. But time yẹn a máa misuse ẹ̀. Ló jẹ́ pé time tó fún wa ní 5 yẹn a lè decide fún ara wa tó bá ti close. A lè sáré bọ́ síta pé ká tajà bọ́ tó bá ti dé ọmọ ilé wa. Ṣebí ta ti ń kọjá tí gbogbo ẹ̀ ti ń dànù kíní kan á di wàhálà á di nǹkan kan.
Sometimes some people are so ignorant. So there one incident happened in this side, like the woman, our environment was so dirty and they won't have that to pack it away. She said, please leave me alone, I'm not interested, I want to sell my market. So I think I should do it more serious about it. Some people they not deserve it, something like that.
Did you know that the Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Corps, popularly known as KAI, is the primary enforcement arm for environmental sanitation in Lagos? Their responsibilities include maintaining constant patrols across highways, streets, markets, and drainage channels to identify violations, apprehending offenders and prosecuting them through designated mobile courts, removing illegal traders, hawkers, and structures from walkways and road setbacks, creating awareness on proper sanitation practices and environmental responsibility, notifying relevant authorities about public health hazards and environmental concerns. Importantly, assaulting officials of the Lagos State Environmental Sanitation Corps is a serious criminal offense with severe consequences. The Lagos State government maintains a zero-tolerance stance on any form of violence, harassment, or obstruction of officials carrying out their lawful duties. Under the criminal laws of Lagos State and the Environmental Management and Protection Law, offenders may face prison terms ranging from 1 week to over a year, depending on the severity of the offense. Fines, significant monetary penalties may be imposed. Criminal record. Convictions may result in permanent criminal record. Sealing of premises. Businesses linked to assault on officials may be sealed by the government. Here is an official advisory for residents. Even in disagreement, do not resort to violence. Assaulting officials is a serious offense and will lead to immediate arrest. If you have complaints or grievances, report through the appropriate authorities rather than engaging in confrontation. Hidden abatement notices help prevent enforcement actions from escalating. The Honourable Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, has reiterated that enforcement operations across the state remain non-negotiable in the drive for a cleaner and safer Lagos. He also issued a strong warning against any form of assault on officials, stressing that they are simply carrying out their lawful duties.
Please don't attack any government official because of their lawful duty. No matter the provocation, please don't attack any government official. Be it KAI, be it police, be it LASEMA, be it neighborhood watch, don't do it. Be it a military, don't do it. That uniform is the authority of the state. And that's why I made it very clear. If you attack any government official doing his or her lawful duty, we shall prosecute you and we shall ensure we get conviction, no matter who you are. And that's the message. If we don't protect these persons, then how do we enable them and encourage them to do the work the state had assigned them to do? So in Lagos, it's a no-no for you to attack any government official.
Ministry of Environment. Them they work it day and night.
While enforcement may sometimes feel inconvenient, it remains a necessary step toward achieving a healthier and safer Lagos for all. Cooperating with the state government goes beyond compliance. It's about protecting our shared environment. Residents are also encouraged to report environmental concerns through the designated channels displayed on your screen. Together, we can build a cleaner and safer Lagos. That's all from us this week on the Lagos Environment. Join us next week for more stories shaping a better environment for all.
See us Lagos clean. Come see us Lagos green. Oh. The Ministry of Environment. Them they work it day and night. Thank you.